Okay, students, welcome to the basic lesson for the engineering design process. If you've heard me say the acronym EDP, what that stands for is the engineering design process. So keep that in mind if I ever use the acronym in order to save a little bit of time. Volusia County Schools uses the 5 E's of engineering design model for the engineering design process. As discussed in the advanced lesson, this is just one of the models that can be used. So the 5 E's of engineering design, one of your engineering design processes, and the one that you will be using for basic activities in this class, is engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. Again, those 5 E's are engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. Going a little deeper on this. First, you start off with the engage step. Whenever you're presented with a problem and you need to solve that problem, to engage with that problem means to identify the need and parameters of that problem. So what are the requirements that is being asked of you by your teacher or by your customer or client? What is the need? What is the pain point that needs to be solved? And of course, to discuss the task with your team and with experts in order to engage with the problem. Next is exploration. To explore the problem means to research that problem using your online and offline resources to discuss further with experts to understand the problem, and then working to develop possible solutions either through sketching or by building something, and planning a course of action of how you want to tackle solving that problem. After that, you move on to explaining the problem. And you can explain the problem by designing and creating possible solutions, either written solutions or 3D models. Then you can move on to elaboration. To elaborate a problem means to reflect with your peers, redesign whatever you created, and explaining the problem and the solution, and redeveloping that solution. Elaborating on your problem includes sharing out, so communicating with others about what you've learned about the problem and how you've developed your solution. Through this, you'll have a final product, and you'll be able to understand the time constraints that you have for developing your solution. After you've elaborated on the problem and your solution, through reflecting with your peers and redesigning or redeveloping your solution, communicating with others, you go back to the engage step to re-identify what the need based on what you've learned about the problem and what you've developed from your solution, redefining your parameters, so your requirements, and further discussing the task, and repeat in the cycle. This is the Volusia STEM engineering design process using the 5 E's. There's this other step of evaluation where you get ongoing feedback and you conduct continuing self-evaluations, maybe even using checklists along each of these steps. So always reflecting on what you've learned and using that to influence how you move on to the next step of the engineering design process. And that's it.